Hello, my name is Ben Reeves and welcome to my production log for my short film by the History of King, which I made for my EFMP. Okay, so first thing we shall talk about is my setup. So start off with my camera. One, what camera did I use? I used my iPhone camera right here. Why did I use this camera? Because I didn't use, because of the pandemic that's going on, I didn't want to go to college and not buy, but borrow a college camera because I have to use public transport to get from my house to where my college is. When did you practice with the Pacific camera? I practiced with a camera from when I got the phone. I had actually recorded a few videos on it a couple of times, which definitely did help me. That also goes on to who taught me how to use the camera. It was myself, because it was a phone. Because it was a phone camera. How did I find using it the other day? I found it okay, but in all honesty, I think if I had used a actual college camera, the quality would have come out a lot crisper and cleaner. Well, it did. Speak of college stuff, let's move on to the tripod I used. The tripod I used is a ring light which you can buy. It was a tripod and a light mixed in one. Actually, let's go back a few pages to the camera. I used the stock camera on my phone. There is this app I could use called Mavis. The reason why I used this stock camera was because the way that I started the recording was I set up a small selfie stick. But I had this selfie stick which you can pull out the button to take the photos with so you can have photos from afar, so you can use it. So I connected that to my phone via Bluetooth, and the issue was that I couldn't actually start a recording on Mavis with it, so I had to use my stock camera. Going on with my equipment, now the first piece of equipment, going back onto the light and tripod. Well, I did knock it a couple of times, which was annoying and something I shall rectify if I ever do another thing like this again. The reason why it got knocked a few times was basically because when I was recording, because the way my mic is, I had to hold the mic with my hand, and every time I would move my hand with the mic in, it would shimmy the camera a bit. Let's talk about mic as well. Okay, well, going on to framing, if you've watched it, you shall know at the very beginning I grab the camera and I move it. So, you may be wondering, why? Well, I guess I didn't like the angle it was in to begin with, so I thought if I moved it, it would make the angle look a bit more better. Going on to the next thing, which is the location, which was my bedroom. But why did I use the specific wall that I used? Well, because it was the most aesthetically pleasing one that I could have used in my own personal opinion. Okay, so from that we will go on to critically analysing the actual film. A part of you may be watching it and you're like, wait, wasn't this meant to be a documentary? And then you just say near the end, this was meant to be a documentary. It was meant to be a documentary, but because I didn't have a script, because I thought I could wing it, it didn't go to plan. So I know next time I shall need a script which will allow me to have a better understanding of what I need to do. Another thing that I kept making mistakes on was the old documentary was meant to be about Stephen King, and throughout the entire thing I said Stephen King movies, except for he didn't make the movies, they are adapted from his books. So technically I could have said Stephen King adaptations, because that's what it was. It was a adaptation of, I would have been a lot better in my personal opinion, because there was a time where I mentioned the deadlights from it, and it's like, but Stephen King didn't actually direct that. He wrote it, and it was actually directed by the director of the movie. Alright, I think that's it. Thank you for watching. Obviously, like, subscribe, and all that, Sabaz, and I will see you all later. Bye.